Hi friends, I thought I'd bring you along. The garden is an ongoing task and I thought I'd bring you along while I do a few chores. So these are a few seedlings that we have left from the greenhouse that we created. They're ready to go out in a spot if I can find one. These are some planters that I have on the edge of my patio and things for the birds over there. But I like to have flowers around the patio area. It just makes me happy, something to look at when I look out the kitchen window. These are strawberries that I planted from the dry root, and the hibiscus that I got on sale. It's a tree hibiscus. These are more of those pots that I planted up early spring with just small 6-pack starts, and you can see how lush and overflowing they've begun to grow. You just need to keep watering. I haven't done anything other than a little bit of deadheading, pruning, and watering, and you can see how well they've done this spring. Of course, it has not been unseasonably hot like it's been the last few years, so the plants have had a chance to grow and flourish. More of my plantings, deadheading as I go. I do this as I water. I come around and I deadhead things. And it helps to keep the blossoms coming if you deadhead these things. There's a heuchera and a Shasta daisy and a bee balm just about ready to burst. Another strawberry that's up in a hanging basket. It's doing okay. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the strawberries this year. I'm going to do something different next year with them, but we'll wait and see how the rest of the garden goes because, I got a lot of things to worry about other than strawberries. Little bird bath there that lights up at night, and a pretty begonia. The color brings the hummingbirds in. All of these brightly colored flowers attracts the hummingbirds. So this planter, I put a couple of cabbages into the flowering pot because I like the foliage on them, and the sweet potato and all of that. The contrast between the grasses and the cabbages and the sweet potato are just, I don't know, they make me happy. So this tower, I dusted down. It's got a lot of things. I have to keep the cover on the top to keep the flotsam out because my sunburst locust is still dropping seed and it will go right down and clog that. There's some celery that you can see heading up, some Chinese cabbage. What's down in here? I've got, I think there's kohlrabi in under there, lettuce, of course, and green beans and cucumbers. It's a lot of different things planted in just this one GreenStalk. So you can, just with one GreenStalk, you can have a very nice garden. That was some purple cabbage, and you can see as I turn this one around, there's tomatoes and cucumbers, bush cucumbers, more green beans. You can see they're blooming. I have 2 different varieties of green beans in these GreenStalk, and we'll see what we get. You can see the little beans forming there. So I'd say it's not going to be too much longer before I can start harvesting the green beans. We're already eating lettuce and enjoying that in some of the Chinese cabbage. There's a nice bean forming there. So you can see how these GreenStalk produce lots and lots of vegetables and things in these GreenStalks. And I had rearranged them. I'd taken some of the smaller ones and put them on top of the deeper ones. So, you can arrange these how you like. And I put these supports on to help some of these things that are vining and reaching out. There's an eggplant that some little critter has found. I need to take care of that. Some tomatoes that are going to climb this fence that I have here in the ground. A few weeds I need to take care of. And there's horseradish behind there. kind of crowding out my tomato. I need to trim that back a little bit. But I have tomatoes that are both determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. So I'm going to have harvest at different times. The broccoli is doing well. And there's some watermelon that's going to sprawl across the ground there. Here's another fourth green stalk. This has some celery, and you can see I've already been harvesting the lettuce off of this one. We've had a number of nice salads from this. Nice celery. Down below I have some kale, and I can turn that towards the back where it's shadier so it doesn't, just bolt. There's a nice kohlrabi about ready for harvest. You can see how nice that has gotten. There's broccoli just starting to form a head. And these are all in the GreenStalk, guys. You can grow a lot of stuff in these GreenStalk. There's a tomato and some companion plants with marigolds and things to keep the bugs away. There's some stuff that needs to be pruned. I can see I haven't been taking the dead heads off of that. Over there, beyond this edge, is a bunch of plantings that we put in this week. Those are tomato starts that I started from seed in the greenhouse. There are cold weather crops back there in that corner. And then there are the raised beds down below. So this GreenStalk is mostly herbs for my garden, for my kitchen. Sage, basil, thyme, parsley, dill. I've had several harvestings off of here already. I probably need to replant some basil, and the dill is starting to bolt, so I may need to replant some of that. But I think I'm going to harvest what I have and dry it. I have a dehydrator. There's a nice cabbage forming up. And now I'm taking you down to the raised beds that are in the lower garden. These are some buckets that I saved from when we planted the arborvitae trees. And so I've just planted them up with some vining things like melons. And then I also have more of those. Oh, look at that petunia. Isn't that just luscious? I have more of those tomatoes that were seedlings that were kind of late starts because we got started late with the greenhouse. But I'm putting tomatoes and lettuce and things out in those buckets too, because why not? I've got a place to put things. I'm going to put them out there. Now the squash are just starting to form up, so I'm going to have quite a few different squash coming on, summer squash. And the tomatoes that are down here are determinate Roma tomatoes, so that I will get those for canning. I will make some sauces and do some canning. So I don't know if you've caught me lately. I'm going to try to do some canning videos for you. I don't know if you guys have an interest in that. You can let me know. I'm pulling off that extra leaf that's just giving way too much shade right there. You can prune these things. It's not going to hurt the plant to take a leaf or two off. And you need the airflow to go to these plants and for the pollinators to get in there and pollinate the fruit, the blossom, so we get fruit. So there's onions and garlic. There's a pepper. I think that was a jalapeno. And these I think are just regular green pepper. More tomato, more squash. I think this one's a zucchini. Let me look down in below and see if I can see any. Oh, yeah, they're just starting. So I will have zucchini here in about a week because that's the way they go. All of a sudden you don't have any, and then you have a plethora that you don't know what to do with. So I'm going to continue to prune as I walk around here. Take these big leaves out because all they do is block the airflow, and the plant really doesn't need it to produce the fruit. So we've got the blossoms above that, and that's what's going to get pollinated and create our nice tomatoes. More vining things that'll just trail down over the edge. And that's kind of it for my June garden 2023. You can see how things are getting crowded. I need to start tying those tomatoes up. And maybe prune a few other things in here that are getting leggy. So I hope you enjoy me sharing what it's like out in my backyard. And remember to stay kind and enjoy the harvest. And I will see you again soon with another video. Thanks, everyone.